Hi everyone, welcome to Nice Driving 26, where my viewers continue to lead by example. This overtake from the opposite direction was spotted really early. The slowdown and the positioning to the left reduced the risk. It's simple really when you think about it. This video has been kindly sponsored by Car Vertical. If you're new to the channel, we do the opposite of what we usually see on dashcam compilation channels. We make the situations better, not worse. If you know this roundabout's a problem, why go and sit next to the grey car? My viewers sussed it out really early, and this is what we call making it a non-event. I hope you stick around and help us make our roads a better place. If you do stick around, these Nice Driving episodes will help you pick up on the little clues to keep you safe. Watch the yellow car. Look at its positioning. My viewer again does a good job just by holding back. The clues are there.
To serve that God if I can in any way. And then when my time is over, depending on what you believe.
Helping emergency services out is something else you'll see quite often on these Nice Driving episodes. I've turned the audio down because there's some music playing, but look at the reflection of the emergency services in this building to the left. My viewers just held back and left them options. Doing things that's best for flow is something else that you'll see quite often on these uploads. And if you wouldn't do this normally, maybe now you will. This is Simon, one of my viewers who I had a drive with a few months back in his electric Kia. He's pretty good at this as well. He susses out the Fiesta's going slow, and even before the Fiesta knows, Simon's creating a space for them to move into. Top draw. I didn't get to meet up with Simon while he was in Liverpool as I was away, but I will do soon and have a drive of his car. Dealing with the Fiesta wasn't the only piece of nice driving that I found in Simon's footage. He also sussed out this situation quickly and easily. Nice job, that one. Do you think there's a more sensibly driven Golf GTI in the country? Possibly, because people do spend a lot of time and money on their cars. They often treat them better than family members. But the GTI does have a reputation. If you were going to buy one, would you have doubts in the back of your mind about the car's history? Well, this is where today's video sponsor Car Vertical comes in. Car Vertical is a service that provides vehicle history checks in 35 countries. They get data from over 900 sources and then show it in one simple report. The reports are really easy to read, and straight away you can see this Golf GTI has two yellow calls to attention. There's an issue with the mileage and it's been damaged. The pictures taken not long after the collision while the car was in storage show the extent of the damage. This happened in February 2018, but if we look at the timeline we can see it must have been repaired because it had MOT tests after this. The big problem for me though is the mileage discrepancy. It looks as though it's been rolled back more than 30,000 miles. This didn't even happen at the time of the repair. Maybe the dashboard had been replaced, but the timeline again shows it had an MOT in January 2019. This would be one I would walk away from. Please check out my links in the description, and by using the promo code Ashley you can save yourself 10% when you're checking out your next potential purchase. This is some good work by the driver of the Mini up ahead. They see the cyclist was close and allow them to pass. The other car dives in front and they're still aware enough to see my viewer coming up on their bicycle. Great job from that driver. But if the cyclist was turning left, did that driver need to wait? Not a common sight, but not really a difficult one to deal with. Just hold back and give them time and space. And it's appreciated. It's the consistency of good habits that's nice about this clip. My viewer won't stay next to this big vehicle for any longer than's necessary, and it's really worthwhile, as you'll see. Overtaking positively reduced risk massively here. Good job. It's nice to see yet another clip from the Netherlands, and it's also a very good suss out and hold back for the bigger vehicle. It really is nice to be nice. And don't forget, it's not just buses that will benefit from having more space to do turns. Another good early spot. My viewer, when sending this clip in, asked the question, was this helpful or unnecessary? I'd love your opinion in the comments.
It's just between cinema and just between Sunak and Trussell.
My viewer does a great job of recognising the cyclist isn't paying attention because they're using a phone. Unfortunately, we can't rely on all motorists to be this attentive. We should, but we can't. But I personally think any use of a mobile device on any vehicle should be illegal. Let me know what you think. It requires a great deal of care and attention when you filter, and this is not just on a motorbike, but bicycles as well. My viewer does a great job. They're turning left, and so is the lorry up ahead, and because the lights have changed, my viewer makes a great decision. But there are tensions with this van to the right. That's the second look. And the third. That was a cracking piece of defensive riding. Superb. It still saddens me that I've got to keep showing these clips of how to overtake cyclists safely. Situations like this should not be in a nice driving episode. It should be in a normal driving episode. But honestly, that could be said of most of the clips that show in these compilations. This is a national speed limit road, and my viewer has to be able to complete the overtake within half the distance they see is clear. So it's obviously a no-go with this right bend, and we now see a car waiting to overtake some more cyclists from the other direction. If they hadn't been there, this stretch was probably big enough, but my viewer decides to wait. Personally, in my car, knowing the acceleration, I would have gone past there. But if you're ever thinking, that means no. However, there is a little danger. If you are a little hesitant and not taking your gap when you should have done, it could cause people to overtake from further back, putting everyone in more danger. This next opportunity is better planned. My viewer sussed the gap was coming and were on the way, nice and wide, in good time. Nice and safe, but still room for improvement. My viewer appreciated the difficulties of this car emerging and literally made it into a non-event. Do you use the roads in this manner? Some more footage from one of my viewers who is conscious of traffic flow and they're not just thinking about themselves. The driver of the Mercedes was a little close and should have been a fair bit slower, but it doesn't rile my viewer. They're already thinking about what they should be doing further up the road, and they haven't let that incident get the better of them. The horse and rider are approaching a left-hand bend, so they're taking up a position so they can see and also be seen earlier. Brilliant. And now, because they've spotted a vehicle approaching from behind, they're using the space on the right to allow the traffic to flow. There's a long stretch of parked cars coming up, and I think this was a good decision also. The driver of the silver Ford approached at a much better speed. Good job to you as well. Here's another clip featuring a horse, and this time it's from the driver's perspective. To pass a horse you should give a minimum of 2 meters. Considering this model Range Rover is 1.9 meters wide, you can see that there was no in the world 2 meters in between the Range Rover and the horse. But my viewer is going to show you how it's done. All you need is a little bit of patience. There's a gap after this parked van on the left, so the horse and rider are going to go to the left, and then my viewer's got plenty of space. It's so simple, and it's obviously much appreciated. Interestingly, only a couple of minutes further up the road, my viewer catches up with the driver of the Range Rover, and this proves just how worthless their impatience was. People often look to the right too much when emerging like this. You need to look both ways. And it's not just for this reason. If you don't look left, there are many things that are going to increase risk. Not just for you, but for all other road users as well. Nice work by my viewer, and also a good giveaway to the pedestrians because they've got priority here. Well done. And to finish, we've got some excellent horn use. If there's ever any other road users who you think haven't seen you, let them know you're there.
It's a difficult one because, I mean, what does the party do moving forward? Do they double down with Boris and just see what comes up next week, or do we hit the real...
Thanks a lot for watching, keep safe, and keep trying to be nice.